Lost in Love, a romantic adventure in the wild. Chapter 3: A dangerous encounter. The next morning, Jake and Emily woke up feeling determined to find their way out of the wilderness. They packed up their tent and started walking, hoping to find some sign of civilization. As they were walking, they heard a rustling in the bushes ahead of them. They stopped in their tracks, unsure of what was making the noise. Suddenly, a large bear emerged from the bushes, growling and snarling. Jake and Emily froze, their hearts racing with fear. The bear started to approach them, and they realized that they were in serious danger. Without thinking, Jake grabbed a large stick and brandished it at the bear, trying to scare it away. Emily backed up slowly, hoping to find a safe place to hide. The bear lunged at Jake, who managed to deflect it with the stick. Emily used the distraction to grab a can of bear spray from her backpack and sprayed it at the bear. The bear backed off, shaking its head and snarling. Jake and Emily huddled together, realizing that they had just had a close call. They were both shaking and breathing heavily, their hearts pounding with adrenaline. After a few minutes, the bear retreated back into the forest, and Jake and Emily were left alone. They looked at each other, realizing that they had just gone through a terrifying experience together. They hugged each other tightly, grateful for each other's safety and support. The experience brought them closer together, and they realized that they could rely on each other in times of danger. They continued on their journey, feeling more connected and stronger than ever before. Chapter 4: Finding Hope. Jake and Emily continued their trek through the wilderness, feeling both exhausted and exhilarated from their recent encounter with the bear. They had been walking for what seemed like hours, but they still had no idea where they were or how to get back to civilization. As they walked, they noticed a glimmer of hope in the distance. They saw a faint light and a thin trail of smoke rising from behind the trees. They picked up their pace, hoping to find someone who could help them. As they got closer, they saw a small cabin nestled among the trees. They approached cautiously, unsure of who might be inside. They knocked on the door, and after a few moments, an older man answered. He looked surprised to see them and asked what had brought them to his remote cabin. Jake and Emily explained their situation, and the man listened intently. He offered them some water and a place to rest, telling them that he could give them directions to the nearest town in the morning. They were grateful for the man's hospitality and settled in for the night, feeling relieved to have found shelter. They slept soundly, knowing that they were one step closer to safety. In the morning, the man gave them detailed directions and even offered to lend them a map. They thanked him and set out on their journey, feeling more hopeful and confident than before. They knew that they still had a long way to go, but they were filled with a renewed sense of determination and purpose. They were determined to make it back to civilization, no matter what challenges lay ahead.